them have known how bittersweet this would taste. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you. Don't forget me, I'll remember you said. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Hope you're well. Welcome to Virtual Coffee here on November 17th. Let's get started without any further ado here. We're just a minute or so past the hour. We're still waiting for people to join us, so thank you so much. Don't forget, for the next 3 weeks, we're on at 8 a.m. Obviously, you all remembered because you're on the call here, so that's great. And thank you so much for all of you coming onto the call today. Okay, let's get started. What's our agenda today? We've got a slightly shorter agenda today. We want to give you guys some time back. I'm going to do some updates of welcome here. Judy's Corner today is going to be an open Q&A session. So this is any questions you have for any of your clients for AEP or ahead, doesn't really matter. Please put it in the Q&A box, not the chat box. Please do not put your questions in the chat box. We are not really watching that. That's for you. The chat box is for you to talk to each other. And by the way, once you put a comment in there, you can see all the other comments from your colleagues as well. That's how that works. So please feel free to say hi to everybody and use that for you guys to put your little welcomes in, etc. I know you like doing that, and that's part of the fun that we have here on a Friday. Q&A is where you're going to use for any questions to the presenters here, obviously myself and Judy today, or any other questions for any of my team that's on. Don't forget, in the background there, we've got our other AMA employees on there, our operations manager, Lisa Perry, etc. So if you have any contracting questions, you can put it in there today as well. Excuse the voice, got a bit of a cold again, yes, but getting over it nicely. Okay, so yeah, Judy's Corner today is Q&A open. Put those in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on the Q&A until we get to that section, and then Judy and I can kind of run that. I'll ask the questions and have Judy kind of go through some of that. She's seen a lot this week as well. She's been out and about supporting you guys at different events and opportunities. We've still got time. There's still 3 weeks to go. It feels a pretty intense AEP. I know some of you have had a pretty crazy time. You know, a quick shout out to Terry and her team down in San Diego with all the disruption down there. I know a lot of you guys down there are kind of back to back with appointments, but of course, disruption creates what? It creates opportunity. It creates opportunities for you to become that broker of record for some of these clients here that need our help. And that's what this is all about, helping those clients that navigate their healthcare and their Medicare options as well. So I know there's been disruption in many places as well in Northern California. I know Cara and her team in Northern California, ton of disruption there with carriers, Blue Shield, Scan leaving the counties, coming into the counties, etc. They've been crazy busy as well. Ventura County is another disruption place as well. And of course, you know, not forgetting just the size of kind of LA, Orange County, Inland Empire, and, you know, Pacific Central Coast, those areas as well. And not forgetting Las Vegas, lots of changes, new carriers coming into the state there and the county out there in Clark County. So lots going on, tons of different excuse me, tons of different things going on here. So we just want to make sure we're covering what we can today. So thank you so much for joining us. So let's have a look at some updates here. As I just mentioned, we have 3 whole weeks to go in AEP. You know, get ready for those last 2 weeks. Obviously, between now and next week is Thanksgiving. So a lot of folks are going to be preparing to maybe go out of town or visit folks, et cetera, et cetera. What I would say is, we want to make sure we are ready for those last couple of weeks. I would imagine after after Thanksgiving, and we still have 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, don't forget. So there's still quite a time. Keep yourselves a little open, events, etc. You got to give yourselves time to write business. And I know a lot of you are thinking, damn, have I given myself too much with too many events after that time? We got a ton of opportunities coming up, and I think that last 2 weeks is going to be pretty intense and insane as well. And we think that last 2 weeks is going to be busy. And I've been speaking to the carriers and our medical groups and lots of other partners as well. I've been speaking obviously to Judy and, getting her national kind of perspective. But I think we're all expecting that last 2 weeks to be pretty crazy. Folks are just realizing that their PDPs are going up, for example, by double. So there's a lot of things happening. In fact, I saw a report yesterday that's actually talking about, the average cost of a PDP this year is over $40. And in 5 years ago, it was $25. So things are changing. The landscape is changing. And this will continue to evolve through the next year or two as well. Don't forget as well, Monday, the 4th of December starts the SOA exception rule. So as you know, there is an exception rule to the 48-hour rule for the last 4 days of an enrollment period. Well, that's Monday, the 4th of December. So what does that mean? That means if you want to book an appointment, you can do a same-day appointment. You don't need to wait 48 hours for that SOA. You can see that client straight away. Obviously, currently, we have the walk-in rule, as I call it, which means if anybody does a virtual walk-in or a physical walk-in to a location, what does that mean, a virtual walk-in? Well, what it means is if somebody just calls you that you were not expecting, it's like a walk-in, right, at a kiosk. So any type of kiosk that somebody comes up to you, you can do a scope of appointment then and there and enroll them then and there. However, if you book a scheduled appointment, you must wait 48 hours from that scope of appointment as well. This Saturday, we've got another LA United Healthcare Call Blitz. You don't have to live in LA. Please note, if you want to participate, the plans in LA County. There's some nice, strong plans from from PPO to HMO to chronic special needs plans. Lots of great plans there. Saturday, 10 a.m. Anyone interested, please email Rosa Calindris. I'm going to show you her slide a little later on with her email on. So if, say, for example, you work in the IE and you want to be participating, you can do. And again, I had that confirmed with Rosa as well. Plan Enroll agents. So if you have gone on to the Plan Enroll training and completed that, that's training.planenroll.com. You can actually participate in a lot of programs. There's a ton of promotions going out there. I spoke to a couple of agents yesterday that had been sent a voucher, a promotional voucher for being a Plan Enroll agent to get discount on leads. So that was pretty exciting. Check your emails, folks. Make sure you're seeing some of these promotions. I've got a couple of emails that I saw this week that I'm going to share with you later on. And that's what we tend to do on the last part of our call here. But again, look out for those promotions on leads. Check your emails, see what's going on there as well. And obviously, I've seen and heard of some great success in this. The other thing as well, call blitzes. There's a ton of these happening. Reach out to your local carriers. You don't need to wait for us to do that. Reach out and ask if they're doing call blitzes. That's all you need to do. Hey, you're doing a call blitz. Can I be invited? They would love that. The carriers are looking for folks just like you to reach out to them and show that you're being proactive and that you physically want to be involved in advocating their plan. That's what we're doing. We are the carriers' promoters. That's what we do. That's what we do. We are their promoters. We are promoting their products. We are promoting all of the stuff that they are offering. If it wasn't for us brokers out there, they wouldn't be able to get their word on the street. So that's what we're doing day in, day out. So please, if you want more activity, reach out. I know, I think yesterday or the day before, might have been the day before actually, We did another Call Blitz here, which was organized by AMA in Las Vegas. And I was chatting to one of our newer agents yesterday, and she got 6 appointments. Yes, 6 solid appointments from that Call Blitz. She's going to be invited to other ones as well. I was talking to another agent yesterday in LA County, and he had built a great relationship with one of the new broker managers at one of our carriers, and now they're giving them a Salesforce account. So there's tons of opportunities. You've just got to work those relationships and really be a resource for these carriers. So it's exciting to hear some of the stuff that you guys are doing and being proactive. I love that. I love the fact you're all being proactive to help grow your business. So if you're one of those agents that might be sat at home on a Tuesday thinking, what am I doing? What activity should I doing? Think to yourselves, what can I do to be a great resource for our carriers? Can I go to their trainings? Can I go and talk to them about getting some leads or getting on their call blitzes or whatever? Think about that as well. Okay, let's move on here. If you are doing any Optum, Archwell, Centerwell sponsored events, so that includes both in California or in Nevada, I need you to use the feedback. There is a shared form that gets sent out to you. I'm going to get Eve to send that out to you all again. Really important I get that information, because the carriers that are participating in some of these events, and what I mean by sponsored events, I mean they're putting money into this as well. So these carriers are putting money into these events. I need to feedback to them on enrollments or referrals. Yes, physical referrals where you're referring a new patient there. That's important for us to know, both the carrier and the medical group involved as well. So I know we're working with a ton of different carriers on different events, but of course using those as well. And AMA Portal has our enrollment reporting tool. Don't forget, for any of my sponsored events, please use this tool. I know I've been seeing some of those reporting. Thank you to all of you that have started your reporting on those as well. So lots going on at the moment. I know you're all busy, pretty crazy busy. I know, for example, one example, I usually, out of AEP, in fact, even in previous AEPs, I was talking to Judy every day. This year, I'm lucky if I get hold of each other once a week. We're that busy, and I know you guys are as well. So I appreciate all of you spending your 8 o'clock hour on a Friday with us. And in particular, Judy, I'm so thrilled to have you on the call every week, and I know all of our team appreciate it. So there she is in our little pot of coffee there. I'm sure she needs that every day. But Judy, welcome to the call here, and thank you for coming on today for our little open Q&A.
Good morning, Neil. Yeah, I'm happy to be back from Fresno, where I was yesterday. Got back at 11 p.m. last night, and
Wow.
Neil and I are both on the road a lot, but that doesn't mean that we're not available for special questions, which we've been answering quite often the past few weeks. But I want to give you a report back on the fact that yes, we have 3 weeks left, but we do have some special election periods out there for some plans that are terminating in some of the areas. And a couple of you have said, well, Judy, that means that they have until February 28th to make a change, right? And the correct answer is yes. However, if they don't make a change from these plans that are terminating December 31st in that county, come January 1st, they have no insurance, including Part D drugs. Now, I don't know too many seniors who don't want to have any insurance whatsoever. So it behooves you to make sure that they understand that while they may be able to have a special election period that goes beyond December the 7th, they need to make a choice by December 31st so that they don't have a gap in their coverage. So please keep that in mind. If you're a person who deals a lot in a county that has people in a plan that's terminating, you may want to rethink taking off that past or the last few weeks of December, because you can be as busy as you'd like to be, in my opinion. So Neil and I thought that you guys would like to have, a Q&A session here this morning for Judy's Corner. And one of the first ones that I see here, Neil, is a question about cataract surgery. And
Yeah,
the question
absolutely.
is there a plan that covers cataract surgery performed with laser instead of manually? Well, that's a great question. And just to help you understand a little bit more about cataract surgery, there's a standard intraocular lens that they do during cataract surgery. It's a small disc that replaces a natural lens that's been blurred or clouded by a cataract. And it can be implanted using basic surgical techniques, or it might be replaced using lasers. Now, the key thing here is the fact that this is a standard intraocular lens. Most people do very, very well with a standard lens. And so that is covered with the Medicare Advantage plans. If somebody has this done in an ambulatory surgical center, it's going to be less of a copay if there is a copay for outpatient surgery. The key here is also, though, there is a buy-up. Just like there's a buy-up with some types of crowns for teeth, there's a buy-up for these intraocular lenses. So you might go to a ophthalmologist that is going to give a plan of care, and it's stating that, oh, you're going to have this better lens, or a class, going on beyond the standard lens, and they're going to want to upcharge. So I recently had one of my own clients who had that question, and she said, Judy, why am I going to have a bill for $795? And I said, that's, if you look at the fine print here, that's for upgrading your lens. The standard lens is probably going to work very well for you. I'm not a doctor, but you should talk to the ophthalmologist about it. Bottom line is, if it's something that you can afford, then you may want to do it. If it's something that you plain out can't afford, then talk to the ophthalmologist about the standard lens. It should be perfectly fine. But again, I'm not a doctor. Ask them. And she did, and she found out that the standard lens would work out well for her because she couldn't afford that buy up type of lens. So that's the answer for that in a nutshell.
Great. Thank you, Judy.
Another question here. So, in regards to the United Healthcare PPO, and of course, that United Healthcare PPO, there's a variety of them available throughout California and Nevada. But the basic question is, a client who switched to a PPO plan for 2024 from the United Healthcare Focus Plan received a call that her doctor, which is in UCLA, will not be in the PPO network. Does that mean she would see them as an out-of-network provider? Now, that's interesting because Neil and I have been told, and we have received emails, that United Healthcare is going to have and does have UCLA in their PPO network. Now, there can always be a one-off doctor that's not in the PPO network. There's no guarantee that a doctor from UCLA or even Cedars-Sinai and some other medical groups has to be in a particular Medicare Advantage network. But when it comes to a PPO, if they're not in network, then yes, they can be, still seen, but it's going to be out of network, which would have slightly higher out-of-pocket costs. But if you would, maybe send me a text or something if you know the name of that doctor, and I'll help you look that up. Another question, and this is from an anonymous attendee. I always love these anonymous attendees, Neil. Why are D-SNP Medicare Advantage plans? I have a client who hates it and wants to drop the D-SNP. Well, a D-SNP, a dual special needs plan, is always going to be a Medicare Advantage plan. If a person doesn't want to be in an HMO, doesn't want to be in a dual special needs plan, whether it's an HMO or PPO, because there are some throughout the state that are also PPOs from various carriers. They don't have to be in that. They can have their fee-for-service Medicare and Medi-Cal. Of course, for 2024, depending on the county that they live in, there may be the requirement that they see a doctor that's in a particular Medi-Cal network. If they're just fee for service with their Medi-Cal through the Medi-Cal plan, again, just depends on the county. But dual special needs plans for Medi-Medis actually offer better healthcare outcomes because they are Medicare Advantage. There is a network of doctors that are working together. And so they are communicating, and it does result in a better healthcare outcome for these Medi-Medi clients. In addition, it gives a lot more benefits for these Medi-Medi clients as well. So while they may not particularly like the need to get a referral authorization, they may not like the need to, perhaps adhere to a particular doctor that their doctor, refers them to. Make sure that they understand the differences between being on traditional fee-for-service Medicare and Medi-Cal and a Medicare Advantage plan, particularly one that's a dual special needs plan, because the extra benefits like vision, dental, hearing are going to be, a zero copay versus within an allowance, of course, versus a traditional Medicare Advantage plan that may have these same extras but might have copays for those extra benefits. And again, if you just have fee-for-service Medi-Cal, a lot of people are not going to get something that they've been having with a D-SNP. So keep that in mind. Another
Hey,
one from Anonymous. You have a comment there, Neil?
all right, there's another question I was just going to go through here. Potential customer has COPD, emphysema, or Plavix. Would that be considered a chronic condition?
COPD is a chronic condition. However, some of these C-SNP plans or chronic illness plans, there might be a specific one for COPD, but there might be one that's an overall C-SNP plan that has coverage for diabetes and heart disease, but perhaps not COPD. So again, just depends on that particular C-SNP plan.
Thank you. Sorry.
Which other ones do we have here, Neil? Let's see.
Okay, we've got a few on here again. Another Medi-Medi question here. A client wants to see a therapist that's not in network. The therapist is willing to accept charges from United Healthcare. What will be the client's copay?
Well, that would depend if there's behavioral health offered in that plan with United Healthcare, which there is. If they're willing to accept that, then that would be your copay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, another one here. I have a client who has the AARP, United Healthcare MAPD plan. And because of the lack of coverage, they wanted to change to the Medicare supplement. But they got denied because the underwriter saw something in a database indicating health issues. She's confused as to why she was approved for the Medicare Advantage plan and denied for the Medicare supplement. Well, this is exactly why it's wonderful that we have the choices of Medicare Advantage plans, because there is no medical underwriting. They can't turn a person down as long as they live in that plan service area and they have Medicare Part A and Part B. So please keep that in mind. Medicare supplement can turn you down unless you have a guarantee issue. And still, one of the most lenient underwriting is done by United Healthcare's AARP Medicare Advantage plans, in case somebody is quite sick.
Judy, just on that question, I also want to pick up one of the comments on there as well. It says because of the lack of coverage. Well, I just want to confirm, because I'm not sure who this is. It says the client has a Medicare Advantage MAPD plan, and because of lack of coverage, just to let you know that all MAPD plans have to cover everything that Part A and everything that Part B covers. So realistically, under original Medicare, which would be a Medicare supplement, there's no lack of coverage. They're covered fully for Part A and Part B. So what I would encourage you to do is to go back to the client and understand what do they mean by lack of coverage, because actually a Medicare Advantage plan covers everything that their supplement would cover, because it has to cover
Exactly.
everything under Part A and B. And in fact, it covers stuff that they don't get under original Medicare, like dental, like eyeglasses, like hearing aids, over-the-counter transportation, and many other things. So for you, if this is not a client and this is just a prospect, then go back and help them understand. Look, there is underwriting for supplement, but you're saying there's a lack of coverage. Medicare Advantage works exactly or has the same coverage as original Medicare, which you're under for a supplement. Yes, there may be a few copays depending where you live, but a lot of these plans now are zero premium, and you're going to be covered the same. So this is just a little bit about you understanding a bit more about these plans and the fact that MAPD has to cover everything original Medicare doesn't. So go back to the client. If they can't get a med sup and they have to stay on the Medicare Advantage plan, then maybe you could choose a plan that's going to meet their needs a little better. That would be an option I would suggest here. Sorry about that, Judy.
And no. And if there is a United Healthcare PPO Medicare Advantage plan in their area, if the lack of coverage may mean that they don't have a particular doctor or medical group in the plan, great. Get them enrolled into a UHC PPO plan so they would have that flexibility.
Absolutely.
So Medi lost their Medi-Cal because he completed but forgot to mail in his redetermination form. Do you have any idea of how long the process takes? Well, I happen to have some experience on this with my own mother. So if you filled it out or the person filled it out, forgot to mail it in, I hope that they now have mailed it in. But you can also call the county social services worker that they have assigned to their case, and they can take care of it over the phone. Okay. Now, in addition, if it's already been lost, you got the determination letter that, oh, you didn't send in the form, so you've lost your Medi-Cal. They probably haven't lost it totally. They probably now have share of cost. But again, calling that social worker with Department of Healthcare Services or on the phone, they can update things over the telephone and they can make it retroactive. So please don't let them give up on that. And it takes about, if once they get that determination letter and the redetermination letter in the mail, county health services could take up to 30 days to process it. And that's why I would highly encourage them to go ahead and call their social services workers so that they don't have that interruption in their coverage. So another question here, Neil. Going out of network just once uses the or ups the maximum annual out of pocket to $5,400 immediately, doesn't it? In addition to the higher copays. So you do have on the PPO plans, if you're in network, you have this lower maximum annual out of pocket. But if you do see an out of network doctor, it'll have a higher maximum annual out of pocket. And yes, that is combined. So if you go out of network even once, you are going to have that higher maximum annual out of pocket. Very good point, Ms. Martha Burdikin. Another question for someone with HIV, should they be in a CSNP plan? Well, again, chronic special needs plan doesn't necessarily cover HIV. There may be some out there, some of the smaller carriers that have a CSNP plan that has everything but the kitchen sink in it as a chronic illness. They might cover that person who has HIV. But remember, even somebody who has a chronic special need like diabetes, COPD, heart disease, HIV, whatever, they can always have a regular plan. So it is possibly something that one of these smaller CSNP plans would cover. Brand New Day comes to mind, perhaps, but it also depends on the doctors that they see and what network they're in. Another question.
Judy, just on that, I think, isn't there a scan plan that is specifically for those folks that have HIV, or it covers some of those specific drugs?
Well, Scan Affirm
Yeah,
does actually cover these things, but it's not a CSNP plan.
right.
Okay, it was specifically asking about a CSNP. But yes, the Scan Affirm plan does cover these HIV drugs. And bear in mind, a lot of plans cover some of these drugs. It's just that the Affirm plan may have a better cost sharing or co-payments for it. And by the way, a doctor who treats HIV is usually known as an infectious disease specialist. So if you see infectious disease specialists, they cover all sorts of diseases, of course. But that is who someone would see if they have HIV. Another question. Hi, I'm new, so this may be a dumb question. There are no dumb questions. We're all on here learning together. I just want to help a couple that signed up 3 years ago. She sold a property and was placed in a higher rate category. Who does she contact to get her Medicare cost reduced? So I'm guessing that she sold a property, so was had her assets higher and was placed in a higher rate category. Perhaps Andy, you would want to, contact me one-on-one on this one, because I have some follow-up questions for you and I want to respect the time. But just keep in mind, everyone, that here in California, as of January 1st, there will be no asset test for Medi-Cal, in case that's what you're asking about. So not only the home that they live in, but any other property, etc. There is no asset test as of January 1st. There's still the income level that has to be satisfied, of course, but there will be no asset test. There still is an estate recovery. So somebody could, if they go into in-home support services, adult day health care, or long-term care, have their assets attached to recover those expenses. But for regular co-payments and things of that nature, the state does not have the estate recovery that goes after that
It's
property.
maybe referring to Irma, Part B, because her income increased when she sold the house and made profit on her 1040 for that year. That might be what the question is here as well. But Andy, reach out to Judy one-on-one and we can answer that for you when we
That's a
get some
great
more
point there.
details.
Great point there. Another question, let's see, can you address prior authorization denials for Medicare covered services on MAPDs? So, very good question, Martha. And again, from personal experience, um, been my experience that some of these referral authorizations for, let's say, skilled nursing or for rehab or some other things, at first may be denied by the insurance carrier. You can appeal, and you can appeal depending on if it's urgent, if it's an urgent surgery, if it's an urgent care or something like that. You can request a fast track appeal. You can also request an appeal that may take, and with fast track it'll be like 48 hours to 72 hours. Regular appeal can take up to 30 to 60 days. But it is not unusual to see a prior authorization or a referral denied. Do not just accept the denial. Go ahead and appeal it. And the different insurance carriers do have a phone number for their appeals department where you can start that on the phone. You can also do it with a specific form that each carrier has that can then be filled out, signed, and emailed or faxed into them. But keep in mind, you should never take no for an answer. Always appeal, appeal, appeal. Another question here regarding physical therapist and occupational therapy. The customer has a focus plan and wants to know, in general, how often can you visit the physical therapist or the outpatient or occupational therapist? It didn't specify on the summary of benefits. Well, usually it depends on the doctor who is prescribing the physical therapy or the occupational therapy. most of these do not have a set exact number of visits. But if the doctor prescribes, let's say, 20 visits, and the plan gives them up to 15 visits, you can always appeal that to try to get the extra visits.
It generally is like a
But
specialist. You just go how often you need it, depending why you
yep,
need the physical therapy. That's pretty much it.
correct, correct. They can, let's see, they can go with Blue Shield Medicare supplement now on guarantee issue. Yes, depending on if the person's in California, where Blue Shield of California is located. They do have, Blue Shield of California does have their guarantee issue right now, their holiday on underwriting, as they call it, all the way up until December 31st for a Medicare supplement. It's a guarantee issue only for Blue Shield of California. Is there a C-SNP for cancer? And again, there's not a specific one for cancer. However, there are some C-SNP plans that may have cancer included if it's one that covers a variety of different illnesses. But keep in mind, a cancer patient can have a regular plan and a regular Medicare Advantage plan, and they'll get very, very good coverage from some of these. Another question here, if a client has a PPO plan with United Healthcare and the same plan is available in Alameda County, can she or he go to Alameda County to get service? Because Palo Alto Medical Foundation in Santa Clara County doesn't accept that plan. So the answer to that is, first of all, it depends on where the person lives. So they have to have a plan that's available in the county that they live in. If they have a United Healthcare PPO, that is a national PPO network. So there are literally thousands of providers, facilities, and so on throughout the country that are in that network. So if that is the case, as long as that PPO plan is available for them in their county where they live, then yes, they can go anywhere they want to, anywhere across the country. If it's within the network, if it's out of network, they still have coverage, but it's going to be at a higher out-of-pocket cost. Let's see, how long does the IRMA charge apply? 1 year only. They look at your tax return, your adjusted gross income on your income tax return for the 2 years prior. However, if somebody has a change in their income, it drops dramatically, for example, you can actually send a form to Social Security to have that IRMA adjustment removed, perhaps, or reduced, depending on the new adjusted gross income that they have.
And we
Another
have that
question
form
applying.
available in our agent portal for you guys.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Neil's got a wealth of information in his portal. How are we doing on time there, Neil?
We're good. We're going to take these last 3 questions and then we're going to move on.
Okay. So applying for Medicaid in Arizona, is there a way to deduct rent and other certain costs from monthly income, which brings the income used for determining Medicaid eligibility below the threshold? The best thing to do is to look at the application for Medicaid in Arizona and simply fill that in. Best case scenario, they'll get approved. Worst case scenario, they won't. I personally am not aware of the Arizona form and what sections they have on it. But if it has it on there, then you put in the rent. Yes. In general, when you're applying for Medicaid in any state, it does take into account your rent and so on. Question, can a member have someone ride with them when using the transportation benefit? Yes, they actually can. One person is allowed to go with them because they do recognize that once that person gets to their destination, they may still need help. So yes. Another question, client has Scan Classic moving to North Carolina at the end of the year. Is the United Healthcare PPO a good fit? Well, if they're moving to North Carolina at the end of the year, and I'm assuming December 31st, they need to choose a plan right now for North Carolina for the plan year of 2024 if they expect to be there as of January 1st. They should be looking at one in North Carolina. Another question, Medicare supplement to a PPO and then back to a Medicare supplement. Are there restrictions on United Healthcare Guarantee issue return to Medicare supplement if the person has never been on MAPD before? Seems like Angelo said something about that. So the person's on the PPO, then goes to Medicare supplement. I'm just wondering about that wording there. And let's see. Okay,
You
so
might be talking
Medicare,
about the
oh,
trial period.
they have a Med Sup, they went to a PPO, which is a Medicare Advantage plan, and then back to the Medicare supplement. Um, no, no, if that person had never been on a Medicare Advantage plan before, they have a 12-month rolling period if they enroll into a Medicare Advantage plan, HMO or PPO, in order to go back to the Medicare supplement and have the guarantee issue. And yeah, so let's see.
Final question.
Last one, clients have Medi-Medi, just enrolled in the chronic plan, heard that they can get free adult diapers, currently living in the assisted living facility. The institution charges them, but very expensive. Well, if the plan covers the adult diapers, then there you go. You can get them, and the institution can't charge them if they're not using theirs.
And one of the ways to get those diapers is through the OTC benefit as well, which generally they have them on the over-the-counter benefit. So that will be something to look at as well.
There you go. Last but not least, can you remind me the CMS rules regarding a second person, the daughter, sitting in on an enrollment appointment for her mother? Well, if that daughter is Medicare eligible herself, then she would need to sign a scope of appointment form, and you just put there walk-in attendee. If that person is under 65 or not Medicare eligible, then that's okay for that daughter to be there.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. And one of the questions you should be asking when you're meeting a client is, do you make your own healthcare decisions, or is there somebody here you would like with you? So that's always a good question to ask as well.
There you go.
Judy, thank you so much. That was some great information. Lots of great questions. I saw there was also some questions in the chat. Please try and put them in the Q&A. Just makes it easier for us going through them. That was a great Q&A, and as always, it's some great learnings, Judy, for everybody off some of these questions that are coming out, particularly the ones today on chronic, dual, and IRMA seem to be the kind of three topics this week. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Let's run through some of the carrier updates. So if you're doing a Smith's kiosk in Las Vegas next week, you will not be there. And, you know, that's important to note here as well. Kroger, we're not going to have you in there the whole week. Lots of carrier trainings. Let's talk leads from WellCare in Nevada. So they've been doing a ton of call blitzes, etc. This is actually the carrier we had the very successful call blitz the other night. I know we did about 30 appointments from that call blitz. So reach out to Greg, Mike, and the team there, and they'll be able to help you get affiliated with some of these. Every Thursday, apart from the 23rd, there will be some training here, and every Tuesday as well, including the 21st. WellCare Wednesdays, again, this is all about, you know, working with the carriers, being that kind of squeaky wheel, being there at the front of the line, and you'll get your opportunities coming up. So lots of trainings happening this week. I notice a lot of the carriers are sending out trainings. So what they're doing is they're noticing people may have time. I'm not sure I do, but you know, so if you are not writing business or you're not busy, then these are a great opportunity to jump on and learn as much as you can. Next month, a Tuesday here as well, United Healthcare in Nevada have got some training on DSNP and LIS, so that might be a nice training to go on. Let's look at California here as well. Are you in need of additional training? Do you have those what if, or can you explain that again? They are doing a training center here as well, so please get back to them. It's on the 18th, which is Saturday. In fact, that's tomorrow. 10 to 11 via a webinar, and then next week as well, Aetna are doing some training. Anthem Medicare supplement bonus has been extended through July 2024. Just wanted to go through that. Blue Shield of California, don't forget, there's a few questions about this, the underwriting holiday. In addition, you can earn big through their Medicare supplement bonus program as well. They've got the $200 bonus as well for January effective dates. Blue Shield are doing a ton of training as well next week, as you can see, the 20th and 21st. So that's Monday and Tuesday. I know Bill mentioned this on the chat. GA99, that's the guaranteed issue or acceptance code for all applications that are on the underwriting holiday. So don't forget, use GA99. Central Health have increased their HRA to $100 per app submitted for a 12/1 and 1/1 effective date. And again, there's some tons of reasons why Central Health should be at the top or near the top of your list for those carriers. Again, zero copay acupuncture unlimited, in-home support services as well, post-discharge meals, home and bathroom safety devices as well, lots of dental coverage and hearing, PERS and silver sneakers. Lots of the carriers have a lot of these already, but again, they have a savings plan as well, which gives them a competitive Part B for boy rebate at $120 a month. They have some great C-SNP focus plan, non-medical transportation. Yes, non-medical. So you can go anywhere they like, fitness clubs, senior centers, grocery stores, healthy foods cards. And of course, they can get 100 days on their medications as well for 2 times the copay. LA Care doing some training over the next couple of weeks after Thanksgiving, 28th and 30th. And don't forget about the SCAN marketing reimbursement program. We had that announced last week's call. If you're in California, you've got to do 10 enrollments for a 1/1 effective day from the 1st of November through the end of the year. And if you're in Nevada, you've got to, or you're in Arizona, or you're in Texas or New Mexico, you have to only do 4 SCAN enrollments from 1/1 for a 1/1 effective date. And again, that's from November 1st through the end of the year. This just talks through the details. So you get $100 per app after that as well. So you've got the opportunity to earn lots of marketing reimbursement, can't call it bonus money, marketing reimbursement money. And again, there's a form to complete, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this can include things like gas and stuff like that as well. And of course, this is the one for the first 4 as well for Nevada. And there's just some examples. CMS approve reimbursement. So mileage posted, so you're getting reimbursed for your mileage to go and do these plans essentially, but you don't need receipts. United Healthcare doing coffee and kits on Monday. Go and see Rachel here at the Corner Bakery on Westlake Boulevard in TO. Also, as I mentioned, this is the Call Blitz for you folks that are selling in LA. If you want to participate, that is Rosa's phone number and email. Take a little photo so you can copy and paste that. You don't need to go through myself or my team. So please reach out to Rosa if you want to participate in that program starting tomorrow. Lots of training for United Healthcare here in Southern California. There's some national training. There are some supplemental training from Mr. Angelo Torres. And you can see some localized training as well. And of course, some of those national stuff too. Lots of good stuff going on. WellCare as well in Southern California. Northern California doing a ton of training. And as you can see, you should have received this from your local rep. Some other stuff from WellCare. It's come to their attention that evidence of coverage document in Ohio lists the spendables monthly and yearly amounts incorrect. New ID cards are on their way because of the Express Scripts is the new PBM, or known as Pharmacy Benefit Manager. So lots of new stuff happening. Keep an eye out for some of these emails. We try and bring it to you as much as we can. And then the flexible fitness options as well. While a gym membership goes through Tivity or PeerFit or Ash, SilverFit may be a perfect match. With a large group may not be the best option. Understand their choices as well. So they've got things like the Virtual Wellbeing Club, home fitness kits, and on-demand videos as well. Some last carrier updates for everybody. Wanted to just talk about the planning role. You might have seen a number of these out. I've spoken to a few of you, and the planning role lead campaigns are working. And look out for some of the options and offers you get, helping to connect consumers to agents. They are advertising because I've done some Google searches and it's actually brought up plan enroll agents, and they will send out those leads to some of you who are on the program or send you a voucher for a discount. So I know a ton of you have been working some of these. So yeah, let me know how it's going. I've heard some great stories on this as well. Devoted Health. If you sell Devoted, in fact, we've done about 5 or 6 enrollments for Devoted Health for 2024 for our agency. So ramp up your sales with your free social media posts. There's some great stuff that Devoted offers. Don't forget, Devoted is moving towards the West Coast. So even though you may sell in Nevada or California, those that are selling in Florida and Texas already know Devoted pretty well. And again, selling during this year's AEP, prepping for the upcoming OEP. So don't forget, folks, now is the time to start thinking about OEP. A great planning time is December the 8th through the 31st. Plan what you'd like to do next year. And of course, that might involve taking a break. And absolutely, we want you to take some R&R over that period of time as well. But don't forget, we don't want you to lose that opportunity. And Judy brought up a wonderful point today. And again, I know I saw Cara had brought it up on the chat, that if a plan is leaving, they do have to the 28th of February to go on to a new plan. They have that election period until then. However, they want to make sure they get coverage for January 1st. They've got to jump on a plan as of December 31st. So it might be you delaying that R&R and that rest that you want to get until later on in the year as well. Humana, again, is talking about cost sharing as well. So the original Medicare plan cost share update, that's been updated on all of their summary of benefits as well. And this is the part I was talking about, the landscape, the book of business. So if you look here, the average monthly PDP premium has increased massively as well. And of course, you look at the average MAPD premium. Well, I don't know where they got the $10 average from, but obviously there are some that does have a premium, but most plans have a 0 premium. But that PDP premium is increasing significantly as well. Integrity, and don't forget, Lead Center is the place to search for your leads. Did you know Lead Center even has things like life, ACA, and even mortgage leads? Did you know that? So there's lots of opportunities to utilize. People are asking me, Neil, why aren't you bringing your own lead program out? Well, we don't need to. There's one there with Integrity. There's lots of discounts. Don't forget, if you wanted to buy leads, every lead you sell, we do offer our co-op 50-50. So if you sell 10 leads, we will co-op those leads at the price you paid. You just need to submit your receipt, and the client's name and their details, will be sending that form out towards the end of the year. And again, Lead Center has so many ways to grow your book and business, and they have what they call Automate and Save. With Automate and Save, you can take any order leads cart and create an automated purchase, allowing you to strategically build your book of business. So it automates. Basically, it starts the order screen, begins the lead order as well. Once it's in your cart, you'll be asked to automate it, and then it empowers you to continue purchasing those leads without having to go in and buy them at a set amount and volume or budget. That's what it does as well. United's got a ton of information here on their products and product portal as well. Lots of great things by the carriers are bringing out some innovative information for you all. So as you can see, we're just running through some of this. This was all on one email last week that all of you should have got. And of course, you've got the Medicare and Medicaid eligibility lookup tool as well. It helps you determine those folks that are on DSNP as well as their LIS level. Of course, this year, LIS changed. So it's either over the 100% of the federal poverty level or below. So that's the 2 stages of LIS that's changed for 2024 as well. And they've got tons of different resources here. Don't want to go through all of this in detail, but look through your emails, guys. You know, make sure you read your emails as well. And then again, many of our markets, we're pleased to offer a variety of plans. They're talking about push plans. You might have heard that word. What we mean when we say push plans, those are the plans, really the key high volume and most popular plans in those areas that you're going to offer. There's going to be your push plans. Each carrier has their own push plans. And again, if you live in a certain area, there should be some of those that you have as your push plans as well. Folks, have a wonderful last 3 weeks of AEP. Keep some of the good news coming in. I know it's gone quiet this week for me. There's a couple of you that reached out yesterday late. I will be calling you this morning. I've got a couple of appointments coming on today, this morning, but I will be reaching out to those of you that called me yesterday. I had events all day that I was supporting here in Southern Nevada. I will be out and about in California next week for Thanksgiving. And then I'll be back in Nevada the week after Thanksgiving. That's where I will be. So if you need my support or help in any of those areas, please reach out to me. Again, you can text, email, telephone, anything you want. Let's see if there's any important questions that we want to put on here that have come in. So again, please show the Blue Shield code again. It is GA99. It is code 99. Just remember that code for the guaranteed acceptance or guaranteed issue. So that is one of the questions. If somebody's moving to their other state, once enrolled, it will cancel the old. Absolutely. Don't forget though, it will only cancel either the MAPD or the prescription drug plan. So if they're on a standalone prescription drug plan and they have an MAPD, that will automatically cancel the prescription drug plan and vice versa as well. So that's how you get them canceled. If they're on a Medicare supplement plan, they do not automatically get canceled. Okay, that is all the questions done. Thank you so much for joining us. We are at an 8:57. I'm going to give you a whole 3 minutes back to your day. Have a wonderful day. Happy selling, everybody. You know, I'm super excited for you all for the next few weeks. I know some of you are having a crazy, crazy year. It was great to go down and see Terry and her team, you know, really kind of having those crazy times down there in San Diego, particularly with the challenges down there with their medical group. Also, as well, it was great also to see and hear some of the success stories that we're hearing as well. So there's a lot of success stories out there as well. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays coming up as well. We will be hosting a very short Q&A version next week. So we will not be going through a ton of slides, but we will have a 20 to 30-minute Q&A for next Friday on Black Friday. I know a lot of you work that day already. So if you want to join us next Friday, you can, but we will not be going through all the slides like we did today. It will be a Q&A only opportunity. And I really appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving if I don't hear or see from you, and I'll speak to you next Friday. Take care.